Portland Trail Blazers coach and basketball Hall of Famer Big Shot Chauncey Billups pleaded not guilty on November 24th to the charges that profited from rigged poker games linked to mafia figures and at least one other former NBA player. Billups, a five-time All-Star and former NBA champion with the Detroit Pistons, appeared in federal court in Brooklyn for arraignment on money laundering and wire fraud conspiracy charges, each punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Prosecutors allege that he took part in a scheme to manipulate mob-linked illegal poker games in Manhattan, Las Vegas, Miami, and the Hamptons. During the court session, Billups responded only to yes or no questions from the judge, while his attorney, Mark McCasey, formally entered his plea. Both declined to comment after the hearing. To think that Chauncey Billups engaged in the activities alleged by the federal government would mean he risked his Hall of Fame legacy, his reputation, and his freedom. Attorney Chris Haywood said following Billups' initial court appearance on October 23rd, when prosecutors first revealed the indictment. Billups, 49, was released on a $5 million bond backed by his family's home in Colorado. His conditions include abstaining from gambling, avoiding contact with other defendants or alleged victims, surrendering his passport, and restricting travel to 7 states, including Oregon and New York, as well as Washington, D.C. Inducted into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame last year, Billups was arguably the most high-profile figure among more than 30 individuals charged in last month's extensive federal crackdown on illegal gambling operations connected to professional sports. Former NBA player and assistant coach Damon Jones was also charged in the poker scheme, as well as a separate plot that allowed gamblers to use insider information on players to win NBA bets, involving Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier. Billups allegedly acted as a celebrity face card, attracting wealthy, unsuspecting players to the games. Prosecutors noted that organizers texted during one session that a participant acted like he wanted Chauncey to have his money because he was starstruck. They also claimed Billups received a share of the profits, including a $50,000 wire transfer following a rigged game in October 2020. Know everything about Billups' arrest from Kash Patel's press conference following his arrest.
Today, we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Cosa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. You hear a lot about our work of defending the homeland and crushing violent crime. Well, this work is also representative of a colossal portion of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. The men and women that are standing up here today worked tireless hours, days, months, and years. And the fraud is mind-boggling. It's not hundreds of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not even millions of dollars. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation. And we could not have done it without our interagency partners that are before us today. The NYPD, HSI, and teams of law enforcement officials from around the country made this day possible. It takes a team to bring this kind of justice, sweeping justice, into the halls of the United States courtrooms, where our brave United States attorney has led this prosecution. It takes courageous prosecutors to stand before you and say, we will not allow this kind of illicit activity to happen, not only at the national sporting level, but also where it hides in La Cosa Nostra. And when these two collided together, they perpetrated a fraud that is historic in terms of not just money, but the scheme and the deceit that they utilize to steal and swindle people for money, to include crypto fraud. This is an operation that showcases to you that under President Trump's administration, there is no room for any type of criminal behavior, be it on the world's largest stage or in the back rooms of tiny parlors where card games are being played. We are proud to stand here today with the men and women of the FBI and this legal team. And to the United States Attorney, I just want to thank you personally for taking the time to display the work that the media is about to hear about today in detail. As I said, it does take courageous prosecutors, but it takes a courageous United States Attorney to bring this case, because we are going to take heat for it. But we don't shy away in this administration. We don't say no. What we do is we bring the results across the finish line. We bring them to the public. We bring you accountability. And yes, they will have their day in court, and you will hear the evidence through the court system exclusively. We will not deny anyone of due process. And that's the brilliance of this system. That's the brilliance of this administration. Everyone will be held to account. So with that, I turn it over to United States Attorney Nosell. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Patel. To be clear, we're announcing today indictments in two major cases, both involving fraud. One involves sports betting, and the other involves illegal gambling, very specifically rigged poker games. The first indictment involves 6 defendants who are alleged to have participated in one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams. The second indictment involves 31 defendants alleged to have participated in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. The games in the New York area were backed by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families of La Cosa Nostra. While the cases are separate, there are 3 overlapping defendants charged in both cases: Damon Jones, Eric Ernest, and Shane Hennon. The indictments in these cases contain only allegations, and the defendants are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty in a court of law. But my message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this: your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that.